XRP on a weekly. Looking at this, how many of you guys think this is impossible? And on the other side of that, how many of you still think that is going to be coming in this market cycle? That's a 3-digit XRP. What we saw here was wave 1, what we anticipate with an increased momentum and a changing or a rising trend line is wave 2. Then it's still anticipation, but we are learning from the past. Now, unlike before, we are not plotting the same exact numbers. We are taking the numbers from this cycle and moving it up, right? So here last time we got like 6x above one all-time high to the wave 2. Then from there 7.5x to the all-time highs. That ratio is being taken in here considering what we got in wave 1 and then extrapolate that for wave 2. Now we got a percentage from the all-time high to the wave 2. That's something similar to this, but not that scale. But even that, when you take into proper consideration for wave 3, you reach around $100, $110. That's a huge price fluctuation for anyone who is in XRP from some time, right? So yes, we need to understand what's going to happen in between. We are not going to directly hit those 3-digit XRP, right? We have a lot of area to cover in between. So in between, when you look at these, we have like certain areas where it's clear we need to understand like, okay, what it is going to do. Then you need to look at, okay, what time frame are you looking at? So if I'm actually going to show you this, you're going to get a little bit of idea here. So on a daily, when you look, you have short-term fluctuation, which is really hard to predict. But on a long-term scenario, if you look at a 3-day chart, you kind of see next impulse towards $6 to $9, then the wave top $15 to $20. When you step back on a weekly, you see like $16 to $22 and then $85 to $120, which we are getting in the long term as well, right? So it may not be accurate, say 110, we can be 118, we can be 95, but it doesn't matter. If you are in this market from this area or way below this, you're gonna hit huge levels of profit. But you do have to understand stuff is changing heavily. Say I saw a tweet from Mad Dog which I retweeted showing, this is an old one, but you need to understand the current scenario as well, right? How things are changing and what's really happening around you. This is really important for you and me to understand if you are in crypto right now. So stay tuned and listen till the end. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where we discuss crypto and science behind investing regularly. As we just saw, things are evolving and it's evolving pretty quickly. 2018, you saw this. Cryptocurrencies are commodities, says a federal judge. Now we are reaching a point where, CFTC chief is coming out and stating this one. So he is showing this one. Just so we are all clear here. The SEC has no authority over pure commodities. Now fine, we understand that. So that's like wheat, gold, oil or crypto assets. So the confusion here is like, okay, which comes under crypto commodity, which comes under crypto security. So that's kind of something which a lot of people are confused as of now. So we need clarity for that. But based on what we just heard from SEC recently and then connecting this, that is not a clarity. So this kind of aids the entire code process for Ripple, the company, and XRP as an asset. Why? Because this is going to show you ton of stuff which is uncertainty. You see this, Brian Brooks is moving out. And keep one thing in your mind. Listen, if you have listened to all previous speech, podcast from Brian, you'll understand one stuff. He had one item in his mind, which was payment sector. How to evolve that, how to use this technology to enhance the benefit in payment sector. But that guy is leaving Binance US for what? He has shown that clearly, despite differences over strategic direction, he is not a small guy. He used to be the chief of OCC for some time. So now you have the idea about what he changed. If you don't, go back, search, do your research and understand things are changing. Now it's so important to understand because the inflation rate is increasing. Now don't get confused. Okay, what is inflation doing here? Because that's pushing the governments to move into a different era of payment system, the transaction, the value exchange. So that really matters. The country's getting this pressure and they are moving on to a new payment system, and that's what I told you guys here. Brian Brooks was so high for a new type of payment system using this new technology, and that's not going anywhere. We are going to go ahead with that. Most of the countries are preparing their central bank digital currency, and that's going to be great era. If you are an investor, yeah, you should be needing a lot of patience, a ton of it. In fact, your emotions should be zero or something near zero, like the XRP ledger, which takes near zero cost for each transaction. Now, if you are someone who look at the chart on short term to see, it's just a movie, you are sitting back, you're just watching what is going to happen, and okay, this is something what I expect in the climax, right? In that scenario, you're not doing anything in between. You're just taking that popcorn and enjoying the movie. So in that aspect, when you look at this, it's going to be a breakout or come back down, as we told in the previous video. But we are near one, right? We are close to the resistance. So if we break out, we do have a moving average above this, which we have to surpass. But the RSI here gives you another idea. Okay, I'm breaking out, I'm moving to the upside. So now the price hasn't actually done that, but you got one of your key indicator doing that. So the chances are high price may also follow your indicator. So that's something which you need to pay attention to. Then this is XRP USD on a 3-day chart. As I told you guys here, the impulse we are looking at is something cool, which is $69, and that starts the wave 2, which should end in between $15 to $22. Now XRP is a racehorse where you kind of gets pushed in so hard, so quick. So in that aspect, it can get extended to 22, 24, 28, who knows. But if you are still in the market with a chunk of your XRP units, you're still able to take profit as the price goes higher. So you're not worried about how high the price is going. You're only worried about where you're taking profits. You're only worried about having enough units of XRP so that you can take profits as the price gets extended, right? So that's macro thinking. Now, come back here. This is a weekly chart of XRP where you see this all-time high to this all-time high is like 637. Then from here to the wave 3 top is like 763. So now all of that actually makes sense in last cycle. Now we are going to take that into this cycle and see how it actually plays out. So in this cycle particularly, we have been under a long-term consolidation where we had a long accumulation range, which we broke above, we came back. Now, to get that perspective, I'll have to take you guys towards this chart, which doesn't have any indicator, but you'll see that you just broke above the moving average. Then you retested that for some time and bounced, came back because of the SEC. Then you started rallying up for your wave 1 with the entire market. Last time, in the last market cycle, we didn't do much in wave 1. So this cycle is showing you much of a reaction from the utility perspective and the investors direction. So yeah, jumping back here, you see that wave 1 was like 10x. Now that's not bad. 10, 12, 13x, that's not a bad deal. So you remove the volatility from a lot of different exchanges, the premiums and all, and you get something around 10x. Great. Now you need to extrapolate that, but the difference is you're not looking at this rising trend line anymore because your support just changed with a double bottom here, giving you around 30 degrees to the upside. Now the next one starts from there. So you kind of take 2 to 3 times and see, okay, we're gonna reach here $18. Fine, without any extension, right? Usually XRP gets extended way more than what we targets. Why? Because that's the asset it is. It's the beast which actually does what it does in the market cycle. But what you can do here, see, this was the huge fluctuation which it did once, twice, and then the top. That's okay, fine. blow off the top, we expect it to do something like this. But even in between, XRP does that. To the downside, to the upside, to the downside, to the upside. So next time when we go up, you are looking for that range as we just talked here, right? Then if you are eyeing for a correction, it can be long, 8 months, 9 months, who knows? But after which, you're still going to get that wave 3. So if you're calling these corrections or consolidations as bear market, it's your choice. But yeah, if you want to call, you can call that. That makes your decision go wrong, because if you understand the macro perspective and how things are evolving, it took some time to get here from this 2008 node to what we have right now and what we are seeing across. When we had this Binance issue, I kind of highlighted, okay, this is not going well with Binance or the name Binance, whether it be the crypto exchange or the sister organization, but it's not impacting well. And right now you see the volume is changing, it's reducing. Cool. So those who understood that will see what type of regulations are going to come in. And when you see that going down, the volume going down in Binance and this one, that really makes a lot of sense to me. Now, I told this 1 or 2 months back, I didn't say about Brian Brooks or something, but the volume, how exchange is losing customers. People are moving out into different exchange with a ton of volume. Why? Because of this. When the price goes up, you need to be in an exchange with a ton of liquidity so that you can take your profits out. Not just watch your portfolio go up, but to take benefit of it. If you're not taking benefit of your portfolio when it's rising such a huge ROI in your portfolio, now that's something bad. In wave 1, it was fine. But in wave 2, you need to take it out. Otherwise, you need to be having that cash flow stay in liquid for next 1 year when it goes down and then go up. So if you're going to take benefit of that, it's fine. If you are liquid, that's fine. But if you need liquidity, you should be taking profit. So in between, you'll have a ton of other opportunities coming. Maybe if the interest rate goes up, the real estate drops, if you have ton of liquidity, you may be able to take benefit of that. If silver, gold, platinum, or any type of different commodities you're looking at is kind of giving you an opportunity, you need liquidity to move in. So in that aspect, you have a ton of asset class out there. So if you have liquidity, you can use this to leverage and multiply it. So now that's completely up to you. But this cycle shows you a variety of different things which you need to keep in mind. Say just this one, if we maximize this and look at this, it's clear we went above once because we tried to break this one and move higher once. Here we did a fake out, but we failed. Then again, and again, and then we broke higher. After which we retested, bounced, came down, bounced, came down, bounced. Now again we came down and we are bouncing with that huge engulfing candle. So what do you expect next? Because for me, when I look at this, it's just common sense, right? Price was doing like this, one top to another one, which is a new high, this top to a new top, which is great, then another one. So trend is your friend, and if it is, and you understand this is the scenario happening there, moving average is pushing the price up, you kind of look at the indicators. Okay, they are turning, fine, great. Now you look at the volume just popped compared to what it was here. Great. So the volume is increasing. Now we need a clarity on how this week is going to end and next week, because the 2 week followed by the first one gives you that idea. If it happens to be like this, it's going to be great. You get an increased volume here, then a little bit less volume next week, then you start to pop. Now if that happens, we are happy, more than happy, right? Because the indicators are already showing you that, because the RSI is slowing to the upside and it may break. Now we have a resistance. This bottom is acting as resistance right now, but on the general trend, you are watching this one, right? You're watching that the price is bouncing from that trend line, and if you look at the roof of that as we plotted here, that's a long way to go. So if you are looking at this up, it's better to be in a live chart and then show you guys this. We are kind of moving to the upside like this, so you have a lot of room to the upside to move up. And if that's happening, you need to look at the altcoin market cap and BTC. So we'll jump onto that one. How many of you guys still remember this? When we reached that top, crossed the all-time high, we were talking about this. We need to consolidate. We definitely needs to consolidate, because history shows us that we did consolidate for a long time. So say 350 days, 360 days, until we reach that moving average, we consolidated. Now we are somewhere close, but not yet. So the moving average need to go up. So that means we're gonna have a impulse for sure, retest this high, and if we are correcting back down to this level, that means the moving average is going to come up, but a lot of people who are going to leverage for next run up may get wiped out with that correction, and we don't want you to be one among them. Yeah, the market is going to go high and we need you to take profit, not to get wiped out when the correction comes, because what we do is buy low and take profit when it goes higher. So if you are getting 5x, 10x, 15x, don't be greedy. Think about what you can do when it drops. So instead of just preparing for the drop, just put that in your mind. Don't do much in the price. Rather, in different assets, follow the different chart, because here in this asset class, you have a ton of assets which have some kind of fundamentals, and it's doing great in technical side of it. And then you look at the fundamentals and you find like, okay, fine, that's not a bad deal. It's gonna give you a 10, 15, 16 or even 20x in next 3 to 6 months. Then there are coins with a little bit of higher risk. Risk is there in every coin, but a little bit of higher risk, and they show you that they can do like 20 to 40x, 50x, which is above the 5 to 10, 15x which you already have. So that's multiplying what you had in wave 1 into huge numbers, right? So when you look at these and understand, like if you have them in your portfolio, then say Luna, we got all of those, we went through that, we got that. Say ETC, we took that profits out, right? So in that sense, if you are looking for such a guidance for different charts, you can definitely look at the Patreon. The link is given in the description below, and this is early month where you get the most of it. And at a time when you're bouncing towards the next wave, when the RSI is giving you this opportunity, the opportunity zone is going to be high. The maximum opportunity is going to be there. But with me, it would be reduced risk, so that you don't lose your money, but you make money and definitely take it out. Right? You stay liquid, you stay profitable. That's what we try to do. So guys, if you really enjoyed the video, please do hit that like and subscribe button. That supports the channel a lot. And if you received value, please do come back and watch the content. So guys, bye for now.